Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is the No Level Cap podcast, and this week we'll be discussing 10 anime that you probably shouldn't suggest to new anime fans.
Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the No Level Cap podcast with all your friendly neighborhood black nerds, where we cover all the anime, all the gaming, all the nerd culture stuff with absolutely zero of the BS. Back with a new episode every Monday morning. I am your host, Sage Ashford. These are my co-hosts, Will Coleman, Rakeem Beck, Terrence Flowers, and Devin Butts. Let's get to the big topic of the show. We're talking about anime that you would not recommend to a new fan. Off the rip, I'm going to go with Keem. What's your first one? I mean, we all going to do two each. So, Keem, what's your first one?
My first one off the rip. This one I want to recommend to an anime fan first, not because it's bad, because you'll lose a lot of context. Gintama. Because Gintama is a parody. What's up?
I ain't going to lie, Rakeem. I didn't think anybody else would pick that. That was my number one. I said, surely nobody else would pick Gintama. That was a lot, man.
You saw me watching it just a couple weeks ago. I've been watching Gintama. But
like lines, I guess.
Gintama is an anime that is made with usurping trends and making fun and poking holes in specific anime tropes and manga tropes that you will not quite understand if you are not an anime fan already. There's so much you get out of this by being an anime fan that I can't just wholeheartedly recommend somebody who is not familiar with the genre in any way, shape, and form this anime. It's quite fun anime, though. It has these moments of, like, you know, of course, a lot of levity, a lot of unseriousness, aliens and samurai, and a lot of inside jokes. The main character will talk about other manga and anime in the show. He's reading One Piece, you know, stuff like that. That is really fun. But even when I was watching it, I thought, man, if I had just started when I was like, the first anime I saw was Speed Racer when I was like 5. If I was 5 watching this would have been funny because it's a silly show, but I wouldn't have understood nothing that was going on. Like,
it's
I wouldn't
like watching
Bobo.
Oh my God. Yes. I watched it and I didn't get a lot of, except the Dragon Ball Z jokes. I got those.
Yeah.
But I had to recommend Gintama, and I also recommend Gintama. Once you become a fan, though, I highly recommend Gintama because it is hilarious.
What's that guy got in his hands?
It's Jump.
Shonen Jump. It's Jump.
He got it with Shonen Jump.
Proven in the actual open. It's like, yep, there it is.
He reading Jump. We know what's funny, man. It makes me remember my childhood of going to my friend's house who did get weekly Shonen Jump. He got it in the mail, and we would read his weekly Shonen Jump like every Sunday at his house. I remember reading Yu-Gi-Oh! And Naruto before he even had the anime. Like the first chapter of Naruto, I read in Shonen Jump. I was like, this is incredible. Yu-Gi-Oh! The part where it was like really dark. I was like, whoa, where did this come from? This wasn't an anime. And Yu Yu Hakusho, I first saw in Shonen Jump, but it was when he was dead, and it was much longer. That's why I remember watching the anime. I was like, they cut something because he was dead a lot longer. He was helping people, you know, like a ghost helper. They cut all that out. But anyway, go back to the topic. Yeah, my first one's going to be Gintama, not because of any issues or any fan service. Well, really, it is fan service, just a different type of fan service.
Right.
Yep. Just because you're doing a disservice to yourself watching this anime without understanding any of the genre at all. This is something you want to come to once you're really comfortable with anime, that you really like it, and you've watched a couple of them. Then come watch Gintama, and you will appreciate it much more.
Okay.
I 100% occur, obviously, because that's why I put it on my list. So I'm with you, brother.
Hey man, great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Terrence, what's your first choice, bro?
Mine is going to be ReZero, and off rip, it ain't going to be because I know some people look at the more like waifu aspects of ReZero, like they look at the maze like Ram and Rem, or even just some of the other female characters in the show. And I would say ReZero doesn't have like, it has fan service kinda, but not in a not in the sense of the show kind of like throws it in your face, is like, haha, here's some fan service kind of thing. It's more so how like some people really latch onto the characters, and they make them their own waifus and everything in real life. Like the show takes itself fairly seriously for the most part. So like any fan servicey aspects is not done in like a tongue in cheek or a overt kind of way. It's more so it's just there and that's kind of it. But the reason why I wouldn't recommend ReZero as a starter anime is I feel like you actually need to have watched some other isekai before getting into this one because of the nature of ReZero in and of itself. ReZero, at least in my opinion, is, especially the first season, is more of a deconstruction of isekai than it is just another isekai, because and that's where you kind of have to understand the subgenre is that a lot of isekai are more about this person who maybe didn't have like the greatest life starting out. Like maybe they're like a loser at school, maybe they're a loser at their job, they've lost their job, maybe they're at the end of they're at wit's end. A lot of them, they get hit by a bus or something like that. And they come to this new world and all of a sudden they get all these cool powers. They get all the women because most of them are like male protagonists. So they get all the women, they get all these really cool powers. They're the top of the food chain. So they're considered like the creme de la creme in this new world. And so they're like the hot shit. In ReZero, that's not the case. Subaru goes to this new world and he's expecting in like episode 1, like, oh yeah, what kind of new powers do I have? Like, oh, am I going to meet my wife or something along those lines? And he finds out that he has no abilities. Like he can't do shit right, really. Like he's not even like the smartest guy in the room or anything like that. The only thing that he has is that when he dies, he can return back to life at a certain point in the timeline. And he can't even control that. So he spends most of his time going through the series, dying and trying to figure out at what point do I need to do something different to move things forward. And yeah, I feel like you just need to have watched isekai, or at least a few isekai, to kind of appreciate what ReZero does in that regard in terms of deconstructing the isekai, the typical isekai protagonist, along with how isekai are just viewed in general. That and ReZero is more like the Dark Souls of isekai, so of course you have a lot more violence that's tossed in there as well. But I can't even say violence is a turnoff because you have people who watch Attack on Titan as their first anime, so it ain't the violence
very
that's
commonly.
a turnoff. Yeah, very commonly.
Very common
So
too.
violence isn't even the thing that I would say make it not a starter anime. It's just that I think you need to watch other isekai or at least be aware of the genre before getting into this one to actually appreciate it to its fullest. At least that's my opinion.
Okay.
I can agree
I like
with
that one.
Yeah.
All right, Will, what's your first one?
Boy, I had to really go through it with this one, but if I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick this one kind of based somewhat similarly to how Keem looked at Gintama. And the show I'm thinking of is Asobi Asobase.
That's what I thought about too.
I chose this show because I remember watching it and I watched the opening. Since you're about to play it, when you watch this opening, you see what this is. It's extremely cute and everything under the sun. It's really cute, lighthearted song. It's friends getting together, chilling, hanging out. It's cool. That's what you think until you get into the meat of like the first couple episodes, and then everything switches. It has a lot of anime tropes, a lot of those anime isms in it. Not necessarily the fan servicey type, but more of like the slapstick comedy. It's a lot of that, and it has like great animation in places where you just be like, y'all really animated that, huh? Okay, but it's a funny ass show. I'll recommend it for people who want to get into a lot of comedy shows. But this is one of those shows where I think you need to sit down with anime just a little bit before you hop into this one. Because, like I said, this opening shows you one thing. The show will show you something different, and then the ending song will show you something completely fucking different. It's a lot of whiplash when it comes to this show. So I don't recommend this right off rip if you're new. I'd rather start you somewhere else. Even though, like we said, some people have commonly started at Attack on Titan. So something like Asobi Asobase, I can't full on recommend this show because of how contrasting it is with what you see.
I mean, to be honest with you, this opening ain't showing me nothing. It's just showing me like 3 lesbians.
Yeah, that's what you see, but then you go and watch the show and then you're gonna see something completely different. And then you watch the ending credit and you like, what? So yeah, it's one of those shows that's like extremely contrasting to what you would get when you first see the opening.
Fair enough.
I agree with Will that this is, in my opinion, one of the best comedy anime. But yeah,
It is, man.
there are other comedy anime that I would recommend for as like starters, just because this does have like some Japanese humor inserted into it, and like Will said, there's a lot of slapstick to it. And for some people that might work, but I just feel like I agree that you're probably better off starting with some other comedy anime than this one. I think this is
That's
like
fair.
peak, and you need to watch it for you to
Yes.
get to peak. You don't start off with peak. You need to kind of start off a
You
little
need to-
bit at the
you need
lower.
to start a
and then
little
work
bit
your
there.
way
You know
up.
what?
Then you get to this.
I agree. The problem is everybody calls everything peak now.
Well, yeah.
Hell, they started using that shit so much they just came out with a game called Peak. Low key, I think that's why that game sold so well. Like part of it,
Yeah.
I gotta
Hey.
try Peak. All right, man.
Just
Peak
peak.
gaming.
My first one is gonna be Goblin Slayer.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
That was on my list too, Sage. So
I
yeah,
had-
we
I
took each
thought-
other's list.
I
did
thought
not
about
think
that
that's
one, but I
what
said no,
somebody
I'm gonna
would
skip
pick.
that one.
Oh, definitely. You know why.
I mean, I know why, but it's just I
Self-explanatory.
didn't think that that's one anybody would say.
Hey man, well, I mean, Gintama was gonna be one of my ones, and then like when that got thrown off, I said, all right, we got to get experimental in this bitch. Look, man, I know the whole thing about people like violence and shit like that, but like Goblin Slayer's first episode hits you like a Mack truck. Like you
Man.
think it's one thing, you think it's about one thing, and you're like, oh, okay, how's this gonna play out? And then like the opening episode to just, and the sad thing is, it really, like, if you watch past the first episode, you see something that's completely different, like a
Yeah.
completely different type of
Yep.
show than what you thought you were gonna watch after the
Correct.
first episode. But the
Uh-huh.
first episode is such a filter that I'm like, all right, man, I don't know if I want to just give that to somebody that's never experienced anime at all before, and all you know about cartoons is just like, I don't know, whatever new cart like SpongeBob or some shit like that, maybe Family Guy or Futurama, which is like humorous. There's nothing funny about this. It's about an adventurer group. The first episode is about an adventurer group that is not prepared for the job that they've taken on. They don't know what they're doing, and they think, oh, we're gonna go and fight these goblins. I mean, they easy to kill, they bitch made, it'll be fine. And then they realize, like, oh, you have gone into their hiding place, you have gone into their domain, and now they're going to treat you like kind of like you planned on treating them, and things just go horribly wrong. And it's not just violence. There's like themes of sexual assault in the first episode. Like everything about the first episode is just such a shocker. And like, yeah, it's all good once, Goblin Slayer, which is, that's another weird part. Like nobody has a name. Everybody they just go by like their class or whatever.
Class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just go by their class.
By the time Goblin Slayer shows up, it is very cool. It's like an epic hype moment. But I mean, like a lot of people would be like, am I watching this every episode? Like, I don't know if I want to keep watching
Is
this.
this gonna keep happening?
Yeah, and there are some moments like it's never quite as bad again, at least in the first season. I don't know if the second season has a moment like that. I don't think so. It's never quite that bad again, but there are some moments where they just kind of like remind you, like, hey, these goblins are like murderous rapists. So just keep that in mind with all these female characters. Like sometimes they just want to remind you that, and it's like, I don't know if that's not something that I would feel comfortable giving to a first-time anime fan. Now, if you come to me and say some shit like, "Hey, man, I want the real, I want something gritty and violent," I'll throw you Goblin Slayer. I figure you can handle it. Like if your shit is and like and there are some other shows that that have violence in the West that people enjoy. And by the way, that's why one anime that I won't have, and I don't know if Keem has this one or if somebody else has this one. One anime I won't pick is Mushoku Tensei. I actually think there's a lot of like, not undue, but there is a lot of hand-wringing over some of the elements in Mushoku Tensei. And I'm like, if you watch Game of Thrones, Mushoku Tensei not going to throw you off at all.
That's true.
You'll be
Literally.
like, eh. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fair.
Like, there's more sex in Mushoku Tensei. There's more sex in Game of Thrones, and inappropriate at that, than there would be in Mushoku Tensei. There's just like some lighthearted. I mean, like, to be honest with you, if you're from the 90s and you used to like Master Roshi, Rudius's early shenanigans probably not gonna throw you off at all. You're gonna be like, whatever. It's weird. It's not cool, but I mean, like, whatever. I'm not that shook by it.
I think
But
there's
Goblin
always
Slayer-
that thing of seeing it in animated form that will turn off some people, because if they see real people doing it, they don't associate it in the same way. I mean, it's I'm not saying it's right, but I think that's sometimes how it works for whatever reason.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Terry, because most people just associate something that's animated that it's kiddie or childlike, and it's like it's just animated. That don't mean the content is kiddie, but I see what you're saying.
Devin, what's your first one?
Man, this is kind of hard list to
It is
to
actually.
whittle down. Actually, the two right there I could put on my list. Gachia Kuda and Hell's Paradise. I think I'm gonna start off with Dandadan though.
Yeah.
Much very similar to Sage,
Also on my
the first episodes. I heard a lot of that. People talking about the first few episodes, like, man, this is
Me.
Keem was one of them.
I was like, what is going on?
This is a very eccentric, a lot of stuff going on. Type of anime. A kid's lost his testicles. He's looking for his meat too. He's grabbing on some granny teats and all type of stuff. So
I'll let you bite on my teeth. Give me that wiener.
Give me that banana. It's a lot of give me that banana going on in this anime. So this is definitely an anime. I know it's popular. It's one of my favorites right now, but there's some moments where I could see a new person being like, what have you done to me? What have you shown me? Like what are you watching? Of course, it fades out a little bit later with some of the stuff. There's like an episode later on in the first season, which kind of goes back to like the sexual stuff with Momo, like why it's been some creepy guys trying to touch her and stuff like that. So it still has the stuff the aliens show back up. And they're like, hey man, you thought we was gone, but no, I said we want that bananas and we gonna take it one way or another. So it's a lot going on. I could see a person being kind of weirded out. But I will say, I mean, I think in general, there's a lot of anime that have that, but if you can look past that, like there's a really good, like solid foundation there of a great anime, this being one of them. Like this anime is phenomenal. I mean, it's even got a lot going on in terms of, as you see a cow being abducted, an alien comes down, he's wearing boxing gloves, he looks like a mushroom, his son, they drink cow milk, they fight a giant kaiju in a giant mecha Buddha, and it's just cool. Evangelion girl comes out with her feet well animated. So it's like it's a lot going on. So I would definitely not start anybody on this, even though it's popular, because I could see a new person being like, hey, I see this new anime everybody's talking about. I'm like, oh wait, hold on for this one just a little bit. It's newer, but watch some stuff first and then get into it. This kind of gives me vibes of Fooly Cooly. It's just so much going on, which is kind of another one I'd probably put in that category. Like it's just it's almost not violence or anything or like super sexual, but sometimes there's just such a sensory
overstimulation.
There's just so much going on. What is happening? And you're like, you don't want to overstimulate somebody's brain and just like their wires just spurt out. So yeah, I would definitely have to say Dandadan is one of those. I enjoy it, but I can see a person being like, I think I'm good on anime. I've seen enough.
That's the response you don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
gotta ease them in there, man.
All right, Will, what about you, man? What's your second pick?
My second one. Hold on, let me pull my list back up. I got it. Hold up. All right, so for my second one, I had a bit of a tough time with two of these because I was so certain about it, but I'll list this one here because, like I said, not everybody falls in line with anime when it comes to shonen action and things of that sort. But I'll go with Mysterious Girlfriend X. That is something that I watched it on a whim when it came out.
It's the slobber girl.
Yeah.
The what? I remember this.
Okay,
even Rakeem's like, the what?
Okay, let me explain it. So, the slobber girl. Okay, so this is basically a romance slice of life anime. Lead character sees this new girl who comes in, and for some reason he became enamored with her, but for some reason she don't speak like at all. She don't talk at all, and all of a sudden she gets to know him, and randomly, while she doesn't speak to him, she randomly just puts some spit on her finger, puts it square in his mouth. But for some reason, it got crazy. His body reacted in a weird way, almost like cocaine hit his system. And he was like, whoa, what you just do to me? And now he's kind of like hooked on her in a sense, because that's the only way she's actually communicated to him, through the spit. And I'm just like, this is really fucking weird for a romance anime, because I'm so used to it being on some will they won't they type shit. I'm used to that. But then this came along and was like, nah, we're gonna get extra weird here. And I'm just like, okay. So, and those scissors you see, that's a main part of her. She keeps a pair of scissors on her for some reason, and she just cuts shit up randomly. And it's
that's
weird,
not where I thought I was going.
No.
Erica scissor hands.
There is a bit. There is a bit of that fan service somewhere in here, but it isn't excessive. I'll tell you that now. It's not excessive, but this whole spit thing is crazy. But I'll give it this here. Slice of life and romance animes have this dynamic, and the dynamic in this show, I think, would truly turn people off if you fuck around and watch it. It's so weird. I think it's trying to tell off on this whole thing of like kissing, but I think it went about it the very long way around. So it has you looking at the screen like, did she just stick a finger in his mouth? And now
this ain't the one I picked, her? But this shit remind me of Seikon no Quasar.
Oh, the titty milk anime.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. With a protagonist ran off of breast milk.
What?
Yeah,
y'all are laughing, but I'm so
that's
serious.
Exactly what it is.
I wanted to watch it, but the first episode starts with a bunch of girls strung up, and then some dude or somebody come up, rips the shirt off of one of them, and immediately pops the titty in his mouth. And I'm just like, okay, there ain't no way this how this show starts. I turned it off immediately. I'm like, ain't no fucking way.
Now that would definitely be an anime you don't start.
Yeah, that's another one you don't start with.
Especially not a female friend.
Folks gonna be thinking, hey, you watching something else. You
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember Seikon no Quasar in like the late 2000s. Yeah, and I read the description and I was like, all right, this too fucking much even for me.
Yeah, like, that probably is worse. I don't know if it's worse than spitting my mouth X-Chan, but you know.
Listen, man, I'm just saying this right here is for people who get into romance and slice of life, like something that's straightforward, something you can watch and be done with. But Seikon no Quasar is a different story, completely different.
I don't know who the audience was for Titty Milk the anime. Wasn't there giant robots in that bitch too, or was it?
I think there was giant robots.
It was either giant robots or spaceships.
I didn't go that far to know. I just remember Homeboy got him a sip early on in the first few seconds of the episode, and I said, "Yep, we through."
You say, did they have large titties? Nah, it ain't what's the name of that anime? The Studio Trigger anime.
Studio Trigger. Kill la Kill?
No.
Gurren Lagann?
The crazy mech anime you watched like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Studio Trigger.
With the robot and the weird girl and the red and then like it was like the boy and the girl in the same mech suit.
Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. It ain't that, and it ain't Go Danner, which I think also had mechs with giant titties.
It did, I think.
Rakeem, what's your next one, brother?
All right. Terrence, you already did your first one, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
everybody's done their first one.
Okay. So my next one, this is pretty much self-explanatory. Berserk.
Yeah.
In any form, the old one, the bad one, the movie, fantastically written property. I've watched the animated movies. I've read the manga. But if you know anything about Berserk, even though it's one of the granddaddies of dark fantasy anime, it is also extremely explicit in pretty much every way you can be explicit. Violence, sexual assault, sexual themes, demonic themes. There's like sex cults. There's sexual assault of the protagonist when he's a child, of his love interest, and bestiality. Pretty much every bad thing humanity has ever done is in this anime. That's like the whole concept.
It's the black tape. Chapter black.
Yeah, it's the black tape. It's the chapter black.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's very hard to recommend Berserk first because it's just so explicit. I mean, the opening chapter of the manga is him having sex with a demon lady and then blowing her head off, knee deep in her vagina.
Alrighty then.
There's like so many instances of like him going to places, and there's like these weird situations, like kids getting turned into demonic monsters and killing each other, and
All right,
it's
now I
real
gotta
dark.
explain why I'm laughing because he's saying some really dark shit. I'm just picturing Sensui watching Berserk. They just showed that nigga Berserk, and he was like, "That's it. I don't believe in humanity no more."
Yeah, it's really hard to recommend to a first time anime watch. This is some shit you need to watch veteran. This is a veteran anime, but
Yeah.
it is, even with all that, it is just so well written. Oh my god,
It is.
somehow,
Yeah, it is well written.
even with all this other stuff, it's written so well. You like, man, you didn't have to go that far because you wrote the fuck out of this anime, this manga. But dog, this is a lot, and it don't stop. Now you can read. Of course, the anime has only really gone in specific arcs because this is one of those situations when the manga going on for many years, it starts and stop. Of course, the creator is also deceased now, so it has had a very incongruent anime manga timeline. They've redone certain arcs, and the Golden Age arc is the most popular arc, is the most like a flashback arc that kind of gives you background of what happens in the story, and that's where most people kind of remember most of Berserk. And in that arc, I would say a lot of stuff like that happens. There's just so much really bad stuff that I cannot recommend, but the actual story is incredible and very well written. But it's definitely one of those anime that everyone cannot watch. I would never let a child watch this ever, even if I'm with them. So, yeah, this is one of those ones you just cannot recommend to do anime fans. It's so much and it's so dark. I don't want to even get them people to feel like what I felt sometime watching some of these or reading some of these manga chapters. Cause I read like 100 chapters of the Berserk manga, and that's some stuff, boy.
It was a time.
Oh, that was some stuff going on in there. So yeah, it's hard to recommend. I did enjoy aspects of Berserk, like the Golden Age arc is still one of my favorite arcs I've ever watched, but it is very telling that you cannot recommend this to a lot of people. This is something that you have to be very mature to watch and very seasoned to anime to understand what's going on.
I could see recommending this to like somebody that likes a lot of horror.
Yeah, horror.
yeah.
You'd probably be into it.
Yeah, I can see that to some extent. I think there's also something to be said for not recommending something so dense as like somebody's first of anything. It's like when you're recommending something that has a lot of themes, like a lot of deep themes in it that they're going to have to take some time to process. I mean, that may not be the easiest thing to start somebody on, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, it might work for them. I mean, clearly, you know, there's people who've watched certain anime that, you know, you would think they wouldn't watch as starters and it was totally fine. But just in general, you know, it might not be the best idea.
I do find it funny that Guts' actual anime thing became a meme. So it might be somebody's only first interaction. Oh, what did this song come from? Yeah, don't worry about that yet.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Berserk is anime. You show those people to be like, oh man, anime's kiddie, man. It's for children.
Go watch Berserk.
And you show them Berserk, you're like, oh my bad.
I don't want to show them that because then they're gonna be like, yeah, I only like the real anime. I need it to be gritty.
Yeah.
I need it to be dark. Like, man, shut
Attack on
up.
Titan.
Turn the show on and watch it, bro.
Claymore.
That shit beyond that. This is the dark.
Guyver.
The dark.
Well, I want some Guyver. I ain't gonna lie about that
choice.
So my second pick is going to be, it might be perceived as a hot take, you know, we'll see, because this anime is very popular right now, but I, for one, don't think just because something is popular, that means that you should just recommend it as something people should start off with.
That is very true.
I'm going to say Chainsaw Man. And I say that because, and I mean, the movie just came out. Like I said, let me kind of set the stage here. I mean, the movie just came out, and I quite enjoyed the movie. I saw it. I thought it was pretty good, and I think it's a good way to, since I mean it was an arc in and of itself. I think it worked for what it was trying to do in terms of turning that arc into a movie and progressing the entire story. That being said, with Chainsaw Man, I feel like nowadays we kind of have two new anime fans. You have because anime is mainstream now, almost everybody knows what anime is. Like, you at least know of the name, the name, or, if you ask like your mom, your dad, or your grandma, they more than likely be like, oh, is that Dragon Ball Z stuff? They'll have some idea of what anime is just because we've seen so much of it in the mainstream at this point. So you have like that type of anime fan that maybe they haven't like outright watched anime, but they know of it and they're more like anime curious. So they'd be like, hey, I've heard a lot about anime, I've seen clips of it. What is it like? Like, what would you recommend? That is one type of new anime fan. Then you have the other type who they know anime, but they've never actively sought after it. Like, they just know that it's a thing that exists, but they don't go out of their way to try and watch it. And so I feel like the recommendations that you give those two different type of people are very different. And that's where Chainsaw Man, in my opinion, comes into play, where I don't think you would recommend this to an outright not anime curious at all type of fan, unless they are into like the horror genre. I feel like if you're the type of person that watches YouTube channels like Dead Meat, or you're like into horror, you will probably enjoy this anime. But if you're not into that, I don't think this is the best shonen to start off on. Like, I just feel like they're much better shonen anime or shonen demographic anime to start off on than this. And also, like, with the way the anime is going right now, I feel like, just based on what I've heard, we haven't even really gotten to the meat and potatoes of the show. With the Risei arc, they're just now introducing, I think, like the different like international aspects of the show in terms of how the different devils are treated in other countries, and that comes into play much later in the series. So I feel like this show is also just getting to the point where it's getting into the bigger subject of it all. And I just don't think this would be a good one to start off on. Is it cool? Yes. Is it very well animated? Yes. Is it a fun show to watch? For sure. But I just don't think that this is the best starter anime for someone. I'd recommend Jujutsu Kaisen over this one, to be honest, just because I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen's a little easier to get into. Of course, you have like your Bleach, your Naruto's, your One Pieces and everything. If you're just talking shonen, those anime are just much easier to get into and have a greater hook to them than I think Chainsaw Man does, at least in my opinion.
I'll be honest with you. I actually kind of thought you were going to say One Piece at first, because I do feel like One Piece is kind of a hard sell to like someone that, like you said, like doesn't know anything about anime, and you sit them down in front of like this 1,100 plus episode monster of a series that goes on forever. And then there are some people that say the opening arcs aren't all that entertaining compared to like what happens later on. And so it's like, yeah, man, you just got to get through the first 100 episodes, and then it's fire. And it's
I disagree with them, but I've heard that too.
I do too.
I was once of that opinion, but I can't really say that anymore because there are people out there now who, once they get started, they get invested and they stick with it long term. Like,
lock in.
Yeah,
I think it just with One Piece, I think it depends on the kind of person.
Yeah, that too.
That's what it.
Because there are some people that just don't like long shows. There are some people that they're the ones that are enjoying all these Netflix TV as movies type ass seasons where it's 8 episodes and done and they locked in. And those kind of people, I feel like you can't give them One Piece and be like, hey man, just watch this. It's like, man, that's 1,100 episodes. They not gonna pay attention. They finna nope out. But like there are other people that live off of old school type television where TV shows used to run. The best TV shows or the most popular TV shows used to run 8-9 seasons, and they were 20 plus episodes, and they binge and sit down and they like, hey man, I love binging shows and stuff like that. Those kind of people would probably glom on to One Piece really easily. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where nowadays it's different than what it was before. You know, even like 10 years ago, recommending anime, you went about it so differently. But now I feel like the process has changed just because of how mainstream it is.
Yeah, that was a time like 10 years ago, I would have never thought to even recommend Attack on Titan. And now that's like literally every time I talk to a new anime I start off with Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen. That shit is super common now. Like, it's really weird how things have changed.
And then you have the One Piece live action show where it's like, hey, you don't want to do the anime, you can start with that, and then if you like that and you want
they got the
more,
remake about to
then
come
you
out.
can go into the anime. So there's different ways.
They supposedly they got that remake coming out too. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, the remake
Another
probably
way.
will be.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, feeling with that filler. I can't wait for this remake. 'Cause there was some filler in the Water 7 arc that was egregious. It was I could not believe they did that.
As somebody that's not particularly interested in One Piece, I really want that remake to be great, just so I can see the kind of arguments it causes in the fan base. No, man, you gotta go back. You gotta watch the original because you gotta experience the full. And it need to be this new one. It moved too quick, and the pacing is just wrong and weird and stuff like. And you need the fillers.
Brotherhood and regular Full Metal
Brotherhood
Alchemist.
and regular.
Well, no, it's more
Or
like
Dragon
Dragon
Ball,
Ball
Dragon Ball
Kai,
Kai.
and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah. That's
Because
good.
Brotherhood, like the argument for people that watch 03 Brotherhood is that it's a more morally complex series. Like Brotherhood does kind of eventually become just good versus evil, and like the OG series is kind of more than that. And then like even the ending is more up in the air, and it's not as conclusive as the ending. Like because it's the 03 ending kind of piss you off, really, depending on the type of person.
because it
you are.
splits him up, doesn't it? Because Edward, he ends up in another world, and Alphonse, he gets his body back, but he's without his brother.
Yep. And then even the movie, which is a sequel,
Yeah.
Conqueror of Shambhala, it unites the brothers, but it locks them out of their old world, so they never get to see Winry or any of their other friends ever again. And so it's like, all right, man, it's a lot of people that's gonna be pissed watching that. Versus like Brotherhood, which is like, yeah, they went through a lot, but it was a happy ending in the end.
Yeah.
Devin, you want to give us number 9?
Oh man, man. I don't know where to go with this. I think I'm just gonna pick another one of my favorites, which I feel like a lot of my favorite stuff is kind of like stuff you don't show new people, not because it's bad or just maybe just a little too out there. I wanted to pick Undead Unluck because that was definitely one that I watched a bit of. That was that, but I think I'm just gonna go with JoJo.
I never watched that.
You know what? Go ahead.
I never did either, but it looks silly as hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with JoJo.
I actually had that on my list too. Yeah.
When I tell you, I'm gonna stand for this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a shield for the community. I suggest this to everybody. I'm like, man, you like anime? Watch JoJo. But I'm like, a lot of people I've tried to
JoJo
give it
pulled
to,
up the artist.
they'll be like,
I should have known, really. That just shows you how much of a fucking weeb I am. And then I was like, wait a minute, fuck, that's right. There are other
try to give it to people, and they'll be like, man, this is weird. This is, because like JoJo depicted a lot with like the very flamboyant poses that they do with like a lot of the marketing and stuff like that. And some people are like, man, it looks kind of weird. I'm like, bro, just watch it, bro. Like just watch it. But I mean, even times you watch it, it still got some crazy stuff in the infamous Kakyoin cherry scene. Anytime you have an anime where you're watching something, you can pause a segment of it, and if your folks come in, they be like, "What you watching?" It's probably like you probably shouldn't start off a person with that. I mean, the infamous scene with Joseph and Avdol stuck together, and it looks like they're But it's funny. Like the context is funny what's going on. But if you were to stop that scene, pause, you'd be like, "Wait, what you here watching, man?" It's just a lot of interesting characters that they run across as villains. I mean, Dio in himself is, I think, me personally, behind Griffith, he's probably one of the most like dastardly villains I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Putting a dog, like literally burning a dog alive. I think some people probably have a problem with that. Like, oh my god, the dog, not the dog.
Well, I mean,
no problem.
Actually, yeah,
I had a
definitely.
problem.
I was gonna say people.
You see what happened with Superman? It was
Like,
like, oh man, Ultraman kicked the dog. We can't have that. Take that out the film. Like, man, shut the fuck.
I mean, it's. I mean, even you got like body horror stuff. Even like with the Pillar Man with cars. Like he turned the squirrel into like this crazy looking monster.
Even beyond that, when he walked past that one dude.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and just like, yeah, it's so much stuff in this anime. I love it. I think it's a dope anime, but I do think it's another one of those anime where it's a little sensory overload. Even the art style, how the color usage, how they'll just completely change colors throughout certain scenes, and it'll be like this, like very, it evokes emotion of like unsettled, like a feeling, like these colors, And I've even heard somebody say that, like, I don't like that. I saw some JoJo and I saw the colors change. I'm like, I didn't like that. I'm like, I thought it was cool. I think it's cool. But yeah, I think this one, to me, it's on my top list. It's one of my favorite. But I do think that most people will probably get into this and be like, man, it's kind of weird. But I mean, at the same time, I would tell people, like,
That's the title.
anime is kind of weird in general overall. Like a lot of anime you watch will have some weird stuff in it. There are some that have more than others, but I get it. I mean, they can come across a baby stand user that reverses people age, turn you to a baby, might turn you back to a fetus. You got the dude who had 2 left hands. It's just like it's a lot of stuff, you know. So I get it.
Gambling game for your soul.
Yeah, the gambling. You have the notorious BIG. Like it's a lot. So I would not suggest this, even though I'm still gonna suggest it, but I know it would probably not be a good recommendation for a starter anime watcher. So yep, JoJo.
I don't know, man. The first episode of JoJo, I feel like a lot of people would just be locked in just because of how it's not like overwhelming, but it is crazy. Like the stuff that Dio's getting away with in that first episode, you just like, it's hard not to watch that and just be locked in. Like I can see it. It feels like the opposite of something like Goblin Slayer, which filters people out in the first episode. Like JoJo would probably filter people out in later episodes. That first episode was like, it's just a great opening episode to me.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you watch that and see Dio and be like, oh yeah, I need this nigga dead. This nigga is garbage.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's for sure.
But I
just still think it's the I don't even know how to. I want to say weird, but I feel like eccentric is the word to use. People think it's just too. It's too much going on.
JoJo.
Yeah. I can see the same thing being said for Chainsaw Man, where some people say like, "Hey, man, that first episode has one hell of a hook. Like, why would you not recommend that?" It's like, I just think that as a starter, there's just something easier you could probably get into than this. That doesn't mean you can't watch it.
Yeah. I mean, most of the
might be
shows are
something
great
better
shows.
off you could do.
Yeah.
Something that won't have this first timer looking at the screen like, I don't think I can watch anime again.
No,
that's the thing. You don't want to run the risk of turning somebody off just because you wanted to give them like what you thought was peak recommendation. You know,
right? A lot of people get in on stuff they like. Like I know one guy at my job, he got into anime because he loved racing. He liked cars. His sister recommended him Initial D. He became an anime fan ever since.
Right.
That's perfect.
Initial D is
the new shit.
Initial D is peak. I ain't gonna lie.
The one that's like a sequel to Initial D.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
I should know this. I watched it.
Motherfucking Ghost. That's what it is.
MF Ghost. You know what's wild? The dude I was talking about who got recommended, he watched that. Ghost too, man. Watching that too.
Yeah, I figured.
I wanted to follow up though with Devin because you mentioned in JoJo. I remember like a couple years ago, they show, Toonami. This is a while back actually. Toonami, that comes on Saturday nights now. They brought JoJo over for the first time. So that was kind of a big deal, at least to me. Like, oh, they're bringing JoJo over to Toonami. This is like right after I think it was maybe like the first season, but it's way after the Japanese version came out. And I remember like they showed the trailer for it on YouTube. And the episode came out, and I remember just looking in the comments, and people were like, man, what is this crap? What is this weird show? I don't know about this. I'm like, bro,
I always get
what?
that. I talk to people about
that was not the reaction I was expecting. I was very much. Now this is before the peak JoJo era where everything was a meme, and instead of JoJo, that was before that. So it hadn't hit its peak yet, where the popularity blew up and it became a meme, and the JoJo fan base was freaking everywhere. But I remember that period, like you're talking about, people didn't know what to expect of that show. And then again, like some people really like it. I remember my friend Rob, he likes anime, but he has specific tastes sometimes. That man watched JoJo for the first time and watched every single arc in a week. He did not stop watching
it. That's dedication for real.
Binger. He is the ultimate binger. So
yeah, that was crazy.
If he rock with something, he gonna get through it quick.
That was crazy.
Number 10. It's weird. I got so many, like really every anime that I truly fuck with. I'm like, man, I wouldn't show that to a new fan. Like, it's just no shot. We've been pretty good about not doing a fan servicey anime. Like, I don't think most of these anime aren't like heavy fan service. There are other reasons why people don't fuck with them.
Right.
I could finish with we could make the whole list not fan service based, or I could give us one fan service anime to close out. What do y'all think?
Hey man,
Hey,
be true
man,
to yourself.
dude, go with your gut.
No, I mean I'm just saying, like, what do y'all think? Would y'all prefer like a fan servicey, like just get something with hella fan service in there just to like
You know what?
so we not like, oh man, fan service is not a problem, like,
I
or
mean,
do y'all want to
you
be
know
like, hey man, we got no fan service, so like we might as well stick to it. What do y'all
It
think?
depends on what the nuance is for the other anime. So like, if
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna say it
That's
kind of
some
depends on the
nuance.
anime.
if there's like a really specific nuance to it that like you had to understand, I would go with that one. Other than like the fan service, we get it, we understand why.
Yeah, like we understand. I was just gonna say, type it into the search bar. We'll go there. We'll get there when we get there.
Give us a
Now
bonus.
the question is, do you not want it in your search bar? If you don't want it in your search bar, I know it's bad.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good.
The
that's
show's
a good
left.
criteria.
I got 3 in my head right now. One that came up while we were talking. And all 3 of them I'm like are 3 of my favorite anime. One of them
Oh,
less
okay.
so, but like 2 of them definitely are 2 of my favorites.
That was one I was thinking of. That's more of a anime I really liked that you liked, and I was like, I probably would recommend this as the first one for a specific reason.
Food
What's
Wars
that?
probably be a hard sell for
It
first
was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be
that
Galactic
that
Heroes.
is an
That
example
would
of
be-
anime with some
that
fan
is a
service you
super
probably
hard
shouldn't
sell.
recommend.
Not with fan. This ain't about fan service. This is about Genshin.
Galactic
No, I'm
Heroes,
just
like, I
answering
don't
what
know.
Devin was saying.
Yeah, I heard the Food Wars, and I mean, like,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't recommend that because
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I wouldn't
it
slide that to a first
did
time.
come from a hentai artist, so I mean,
Oh, oh, you are right about that.
Heroes, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it depends on what type of person they are.
Yeah, that shit requires a specific temperament because some people just don't have the patience for like a more nuanced, like really deep political anime. Some
Yeah.
people do. Like me,
people-
that's me. I like that. But
let's
My
let's
little
split the
brother, he would never watch that ever, ever.
split the difference.
On his deathbed, I wouldn't put it on.
Sinful Gear.
This is
Oh,
one of my
Super
favorite
Gear.
anime of all time. By far. Is this up there with Yu Yu Hakusho? I wouldn't say that it's as good, but I do love it in the same way that I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It is a very anime ass anime, and it's one of those that's going to filter you out. Like there is some kind of fan service, I guess, in the way that like when magical girls transform, they tend to be nude before they get to clothes and all that, and so that may filter you out. But what really is going to filter you out is just like the absurd concept of like these girls that not only are they summoning magical powers, but they fight via singing. Like they're literally powered by music. And so like effectively you're watching a show that is half musical, half like Dragon Ball Z shonen type shit. Cause they are throwing hands and it's
They
a lot
are.
of explosions. Like niggas is dying, people is dying left and right. There's all types of like absurd fight scenes. But it's just like the average person is going to watch this and be like, yo, man, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is probably just a little too much. But I mean, like, as you can see on the screen, like, you see they throwing down in that bitch. And it's not like, oh, that happens in 1 or 2 episodes and the rest is not like that. Nah, it's like that the whole series. And like, there are certain ridiculous, like the show knows how ridiculous it is. There's a scene, I think in season 2, but it might be in season 3, where they need to save like this fucking spaceship, and it's about to like they can't control it, keep it from crashing or whatever. And so the spaceship, what the fuck?
I think it accidentally you clicked on.
I wish
before
you
it
would
ended.
do that
immediately.
But yeah, like there's a scene where they need to save a spaceship, and the spaceship is like it's gonna crash land if they don't do something about it. And so they're like, all right, they have to start using their powers together. And one of the things they do is they literally blow up part of a mountain. And like I think K2, they blow up part of the mountain and like make the mountain shrink. And then like as they do it, because they're working together with like an agency, with like an intelligence agency. And as they blow up the mountain to make it shrink so that the spaceship doesn't crash directly into it, the people at the agency are like, oh yeah, that mountain's now the 3rd tallest mountain in the world. It's like that's some type writing that like the writers definitely knew like we're being fucking stupid and we're enjoying it. And like that's cool for somebody that's been watching anime for a long time. Somebody that hasn't is probably gonna be like, they probably think that's serious, like that the writers don't know how silly they're being, and they'd be like, man, you doing too much. And then like even in that spaceship scene, after that scene with the mountain, they literally suplex the fucking spaceship into place. Like that's how they make it land. Like they grab that bitch and backflip it and make it land perfectly. And it's like, all right, man. Only like it takes a certain type of long-standing anime fan to get into some shit like that. Everybody else is gonna be like, hey man, I can't do this. Like it's just so much going on, and every season manages to top itself in ridiculousness. And so like there are some people that will take to this. Like if you're a big musical fan, you probably already do like a level of ridiculousness to your media, and you could take this a little easier. But the average person is gonna be like, all right, man, I'm overstimulated. Cut this shit off. So
facts.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, I started watching it like years ago. I think it was on Crunchyroll at one point, and I was really fucking with it for a time being, man.
I forget what made me watch this at first. I think I might have been either on TV Tropes or I was looking for something that's similar to Nanoha, which is another anime that I would not recommend to a new fan, but I fucking love. And I was like, I'll try Sinful Gear out. Let's see what it's talking about. And I binged that bitch, and I'm not a binger. It's hard for me to sit in one place and watch a whole bunch of episodes at once. But I binged through the first 13 episodes in like 2 days. I was like, look, let's go. Let's get
really
through this,
invested. You were locked in.
I was locked in and went to the second season, binged through that. Went to the third season, binged through that over the course of I think a month. I got through all 3 seasons at the time, and I haven't caught back up because there's season 4 and 5. I haven't caught back up, but I have been seeing it on my timeline because there's a dude that's been just live tweeting their reactions to shit. First they did Gundam, then they did Macross, then they did Sinful Gear, and every time cool. I was like, this shit is fucking peak. And so like I gotta go back and get back into it.
Okay.
Y'all kind of took most of mine. So I'm real quick. I'm gonna just tell y'all the other 3. I'm not even gonna delve into it. Y'all know why. Fairy Tail, that's one.
Yeah.
That was the one I was like, we could just go fan service. Like that's the hell of fan service. And is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon also for the fan service reasons? It's very solid.
I mean, you heard the title, so you know what's gonna happen.
The title alone is gonna be hard. It's like, come on, man, you want me to watch this? And then you see like the kid working with this goddess with huge titties and a shirt that's feeling like it's gonna bust open at any second.
the
like, all right, man,
ribbon.
The boob ribbon and shit. It's like, what the fuck going on, man?
Dude, I forgot Fairy Tail had so much fan service. I rewatched it. I went back and rewatched it, like the original show, like 2 or 3 years ago. And I watched like the first like 10, 15 episodes. I forgot there was that much fan service in them. When I think of Fairy Tail, I think about the guilds, the magic, some of the combat and stuff, and like some of the major story twists. But I never think about the fan service. But yeah, it does have a decent amount of fan service.
Almost
Fairy Tail's weird in that it doesn't need that fan service. Like you could take all of it out and it'd still be the same quality show, probably a little more approachable and a little more easy to like recommend to people, but it'd be the same show.
Yeah.
What was you gonna say, Terrence?
I was gonna say almost every clip I see of Lucy is her just being naked for some reason.
Yeah, that was a trend at one point. I kept seeing her minus clothes a lot. I'm like,
which is hilarious because the only person who be taking the clothes off is Great.
I definitely, when I did that list of like top 10 anime that you can't recommend without sounding like a creep, Fairy Tail was on that bitch, and Gray was part of the reason. It's like, man, you got a character here that just be stripping down to his drawers for no reason other than just cuz. He hot. I'm in my drawers now, like, bruh.
He ice mage, man. He hot. He needs some cold, man.
Yink, please don't go into detail, but real quick, like, what did we not get to on your list, Devin?
So Undead Unluck for certain, because reasons. Let me pull up my list real quick. Claymore, Guy with a Bio Boosted Armor, Attack on Titan, Parasite, and Hell's Paradise. And the Summer Hikaru died.
Okay.
Because I'm already inside.
What about you, man?
I was gonna say Konosuba.
Yes, absolutely.
Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Kill la Kill. Snafu. And the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a pull right there.
I think you need to be a seasoned anime fan before you
gotta
get into
be
that
dyed in the wool anime nerd to watch Melancholy.
That requires knowledge of multiple genres, so I think you need a little seasoning before you get into that one.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Rakeem, what about you, man?
For mine, I actually have Mushoku Tensei in mind. I also had Boogie Pop Phantom because like I feel like it's
That's another one I
hard.
had on my list.
That's a really old school one, like a horror. It's really specific, but I feel like, and it's kind of why I mentioned earlier about Galactic Heroes. Like it's hard to recommend in this generation stuff because people's attention span is so short, and some of these animes require long investment to really get what they're trying to say.
That one's episodic, isn't it?
What'd you say?
That one's episodic, right? Like it has like
is.
an overarching plot, but like each episode is kind of its own contained
Completely
thing,
different.
right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Will, no huge detail. What's
Yeah.
the ones that didn't make it?
Well, aside from the ones Keevan Devin stuffed over that I have put on my list, I said Black Butler for obvious reasons. If you see it and you know it, you get what I'm talking about. Higurashi, the older ones, not necessarily the current reboot remake. Another one I put up there was Shigofumi, Letters from the Departed, which I think is something that you have to kind of sit down with. And Serial Experiments Lane. And
I thought about that one.
You could be an anime fan and still not get Lane.
yeah, you could be.
Lane's
right,
a lot, bro.
The Lane is a lot, but there's that, and probably Maria Holic and Rainbow.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, those are all. I asked everybody. I didn't want anybody to go into any heavy detail because we running, show kind of running kind of long. But I did want to get those lists out just because, like, you may be watching this, you might be like, well, I'm built different, and I can watch, whatever, and I start whenever. And hey, man, if you want to start with some of the ones that our illustrious cast people have named, go for it. Maybe you want to try out Shigofumi. Maybe you want to try out Mushoku Tensei, like Keem said. Maybe you want to try Undead Unluck. Like, I don't know. Like, you might think you built different and find out.
Do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, do you, bro. All right, that's going to wrap this week up. If you're new to us and like this episode, I need a few things from you. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to subscribe, tell your friends about us, and do me a personal favor. Have an excellent week. Peace.